Ta-da! Here we are. All right, now hopefully there is a little bit of background noise. I'm hoping that it's not too bad. You guys let me know in the comments, please, if it is distracting, aka too much, etc. I am mostly recording this so I can go back, take a look at it, listen to it, see how it shows up on various devices. I've got a little bit of different lighting angle on this, but we'll see. I also want to talk about the journey to get here. Oh my goodness, there was a lot, guys, gals, and everything else. Um, what is this? Oh, so first of all, there was, as you guys know, well, those of you who have watched the show for a while, you guys know that we had some close family members that passed away. One of them was my mother-in-law, and she lived in LaPorte. Once we kind of figured out everything, we had to figure out what we were going to do with her house. It's a nice old house. It's not perfect. I have my own personal issues with a couple of things in the house, but we decided that rather than stay in Michigan City, that we would move to LaPorte. So, in the process of doing so, unfortunately, she was I'm just going to say it, she was a hoarder. She had a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff. And so we had to figure out what we were going to do with all this stuff and the house. And this was a whole other journey that I will do an entire video on, because I learned a lot during this video, or excuse me, during this period, both about how like home transfers and taxes and homestead exemptions and a whole lot of other stuff. I learned a ton of stuff, which, like I said, I'll share in a separate video. But one of the things that I did learn is that you really have to do your due diligence when it comes to hiring people to do stuff at your home. Unfortunately, see, this is interesting, because one of the things I'm trying to figure out is whether or not this internet is going to work. And there we go. One of the things that I had to do when we moved, I got to share an office with my wife, which doesn't sound like it would be that big of a deal. But I had my own separate room at the other house. And so we kind of had to get creative on how we set this up. Now, on this, as you guys can see behind me, there is a door frame that is formerly a closet. So you guys will see once we go back to doing videos with guests. I actually have a spot for that. I'll share that with you guys. But if you guys could let me know how the lighting looks, the audio, is it coming in okay, stuff like that, I'd appreciate it. So I want to share with you guys. So first, the whole house thing, we were getting it set up, and it seems like if you do one thing, if you fix one little thing, it opens up a whole other big can of worms. And oh my goodness, there was all of that. Obviously, there was the funeral, and then my grandmother passed away shortly thereafter, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And then, so I was actually at the funeral for my mother-in-law when I was informed by my grandmother that she was entering hospice. She had terminal cancer. So it was just a bad day all the way around. I think it was like the very next day I was in a major motorcycle accident. Whole lot of stuff. Anyway, the whole point, I guess, of all this is after we got everything set up, we took a vacation. And my wife's been bugging me. This is the first vacation that we got to take that was just us, without the kids, just me and her. So we took a vacation and we went down to we went down Alabama, over to Mississippi, Louisiana, back kind of up through Mississippi, into Tennessee, and then Kentucky, and then home. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff. Hopefully I'm able to get to the pictures. One of the things that we saw was Lookout Mountain. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to Lookout Mountain in Tennessee. This is just part of, oh no, that is not a lot. There we go. All right. So this is actually in the tram. It's the trolley. This is actually in it and going right by the parking lot. See, there's the parking lot. I don't think from this angle you guys can see my truck, but this is what the trolley looks like. It's called the Incline Railway. And the car, it's kind of hard to see at this angle, but the car is built at an angle because you're on a very, very steep incline. There. Kind of, you can see we're going up and up and up on the Incline Railway. Other people. And of course, they're taking their pictures and videos and whatnot. Okay, there we go. You can see, and like I said, the car is built like this. So you're actually looking down. It is such a steep angle. Even with the car built like that, it is such a steep angle that you're almost pushed out of your seat into the person in front of you. It is absolutely breathtaking, though, if you get the opportunity. This is, once you get up to the top, there's this little entryway that you can go into, and they got a little cafe in there, and then you can go outside and upstairs, and you can actually look out onto the surrounding area. Again, absolutely breathtaking, beautiful. That is just zoomed all the way in. This is not. There we go. This is my phone at 100 times zoom from the top of Lookout Mountain. This is where we parked, which is where we started. You can kind of see. Obviously, it has flaws, but I thought it was very interesting to see how cool that was. Oh, here's the actual view from the top of Lookout Mountain. And according to the information there, it says that you can see 7 states. Again, breathtaking, absolutely gorgeous. We enjoyed it. She enjoyed it, which obviously is the most important thing, because gotta keep the wife happy, man. I have been a lot to deal with this whole house and everything else. So I was just glad that I was able to finally do something that she wanted to do. It is very, very often that, her wants and needs get pushed to the side so that I can do what I want. Here we go. Okay, so I found another folder. All right. So after we went to Alabama, right? And what we wanted to do in Alabama was to go to the Lake Martin machine gun. This is the other folder. If you guys haven't seen Lake Martin machine gun. I'll show it to you real quick. It is in a place called Eclectic, Alabama. This is the front door of the place, LakeMartinMachineGun.com. And it is one of the few places in the United States where you can go and you can shoot some of the coolest weapons ever made. You get the opportunity to fire the M2 Browning, the Gatling, the M60, the Scar, tons and tons of really, really cool vehicles. Now, this is old. This is when they were, before they had set them up on the walls. My wife has newer pictures. This is when I went with my best friend, Jim, and we had a blast. It was fun, but I'm showing you guys these just in case you haven't seen. There's the minigun. I got to fire it several times. Absolute blast. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. We got a nice slow motion video of me shooting it. She got to shoot the M2. We got a video of that. Like I said, this is the wrong folder. I'm trying to find this stuff for you guys, but I had thought I shared it to the proper location, but apparently I did not. But that's okay. I'm going to show you guys. After we did that, we went over to Mississippi, which is where my aunt lives, and we wanted to go, hey, Sean, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So after that, we went over to Mississippi, and then she lives, my aunt lives in Gulfport, Mississippi, which is right down there on the coast. And it's about an hour away from New Orleans. So my wife didn't, last time we were in the area, I got sick. We didn't actually get to go to New Orleans. So, or should I say Nolens. So while we were down there, my aunt's like, yeah, let's go. So we go to New Orleans, and I'll show you guys now I have way more pictures, but for some reason, I guess I didn't share them to myself properly. So I'm just going to show you the ones that I do have, and then this is the ceiling from a business in the French Quarter called Cafe Beignet. Now, those of you who have gone to the French Quarter maybe know Cafe du Monde. That is very much a tourist trap. Cafe Beignet is a more localized place. It's where people who live there recommend that you go. It's like there's a location like a block away from Cafe Beignet, and then there's another location that predates this. But this is the ceiling. I just thought this was really, really cool. I love that inset textured tile. There's my wife and I. Yeah, I had been eating good on vacation, so I'm a little pudgy in the picture. I got to get back to eating healthy. But there's a whole bunch of these. My aunt took these. I guess she was trying to make a reel or something. I'm not sure, but there are a ton of them. If we don't get to the end soon, let's just go back to that. All right, so here is the inside of Cafe Beignet. Really cool pictures, some really awesome memories on the wall there at Cafe Beignet. Myself, my wife, and my aunt. I really like that picture. I think it's a really good picture. Again, we had a blast. Let's see. That was the same one. Yeah, I showed you guys that one. Okay, so this is the view from outside Cafe Beignet. You can see the French Quarter of New Orleans right there on Decatur Street. Truck just happened to turn at the moment, but you can see once again, there we go. So here's the outside of the place. There's the sign out there. Like I said, man, woo, you can tell we were on vacation. Me anyway. She looks great as always. Right across the street from Cafe Beignet is it's the Jackson Park, I think it's called. There's a big statue of Andrew Jackson there on his horse. Interesting story, by the way. The way that the horse is facing towards us, while directly behind us at the time was an apartment building. Allegedly, this is people who live there said that the reason that he's tipping his hat that direction is because that's where his mistress actually was put up at the hotel there. You can see, there you go. Major General Andrew Jackson. To the left is St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is there, right there. Absolutely amazing. I mean, breathtaking inside. Just absolutely incredible. Here it is right here. One of two historic sites which make up the Catholic Cultural Heritage Center of New Orleans. The cathedral in which you were standing was completed in 1851, built over the foundations of a colonial 1727 church. It has been the city's center of worship for over 280 years and is the oldest active cathedral in the United States. Tours are free and open to the public. After touring the cathedral, you are invited to visit the Old Ursuline Convent and adjoining St. Mary's Church, located within walking distance at 1100 Chartres Street. And just look at, they do not build them like this anymore. Just at all. The imagery is incredible. The architecture is amazing. I got some better pictures. It's just, look at this. I mean, it's amazing. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I took a whole lot of pictures of St. Patrick's Cathedral because it was just amazing to me. I love the place. I like old Catholic churches, like the real solid cathedrals, everything about them, the stained glass, the architecture. I mean, right? It's amazing, isn't it? Look at that. I don't speak Latin, so I couldn't tell you what this stuff says, but if you do, feel free to drop the translations in there. They just, like I said, they do not build them like this anymore. Look at the ceiling up here. Just wow. So we wandered around the French, after we toured this place, we wandered around the French Quarter for a little bit, and then stopped at the beach on the way. There's the Cathedral of St. Louis, King of France, and observance of the American Revolution bicentennial, 75 to 76. This historic church was restored through the generosity of the people of God of the Archdiocese of New Orleans. The most reverential, Philip M. Hannon, Archbishop, rededicated April 25th, 76, on the 183rd anniversary of the creation of the Diocese of Louisiana and Florida's, with New Orleans as the sea city. Louis Penave y Cardenas, first bishop, 1793 to 1801. I probably butchered that. It's been a minute, guys. Also, they have a Bourbon Street attack memorial set up, which is just, people are nuts, man. On January 1st, 2025, you guys can read, Psycho drove a pickup truck into a crowd of people celebrating the new year on New Orleans Bourbon Street. 14 individuals died and more than 50 injured, including 2 police officers. Victims of the attack ranged in age from 18 to 63. I don't know if you guys remember that happening. I do. In the days following the attack, visitors to the site began creating a memorial at the intersection of Bourbon and Canal Streets to commemorate all the lives lost. They left crosses, flowers, candles, beads, and other items. On January 5th, volunteers from Lutheran Church Charities brought and installed these 14 white crosses, each inscribed with the victim's name on Canal Street. They invited family and friends of the victim and other visitors to the site to write messages of hope and love on the crosses. And then there are all the names and where they were from. Baton Rouge, New York, Montgomery, Gulfport, Holmdel, Gretna, Perryville, Nolens, Metairie, Nolens, London, Harvey, Picayune, and Slidell. There's the crosses and the photos of the victims. Horrific, man. Just people suck. This is from a little shop nearby, and it is where they had probably the best muffalata I've ever had. This is what you actually need. It's some good olive salad. That's what goes on the muffalata. My wife and my aunt there at the little fountain. And this is I said we stopped at the beach in Gulfport. This was the beach in Gulfport, Mississippi, that we stopped at. So the wife could go out there and check it out. She had never been to the Gulf. There's my aunt. So I zoomed way in to get her. She had never been to the Gulf of Mexico. This is my aunt when she won the cooking contest in her hometown of Homa, where I'm from. Creole Italian seafood lasagna. And then another one for crawfish crepes. She's a phenomenal cook. She's actually coming up to visit. So in, I think, another week and a half, 2 weeks. So yay, more yummy cooking, she said. She's going to hook me up. So after we went to New Orleans, I went back to Gulfport with my aunt. My wife and I traveled on to Baton Rouge, Vacherie, actually. It's just outside Baton Rouge. And we went to Oak Alley Plantation. This is a map of the grounds. The historic site, Oak Alley, Slavery at Oak Alley exhibit, the East Garden, the West Garden, the Big House exhibit, etc. So, and by the way, the reason that number 8 is closed is because it was being redone. It was very interesting. The walls on the house, you are not allowed to take photos or videos inside the home, by the way. This is Oak Alley Plantation. This is actually considered the back of the house. And it's once again, obviously, an incredible house. These, by the way, none of these are original. All of these were destroyed. These are the slave quarters. All of those were destroyed, so they're all rebuilt. Now, they did rebuild them using the original craftsman methods, materials. Like, everything's period accurate, but that's not the original stuff. We got some pictures of everything there. It was cool. This is why it's called Oak Alley, by the way. That's River Road, way out there, and all of these oaks were transplanted. They were all brought in and planted here, and it created, obviously, an oak alley. Very, very cool house. I wanted to see if I could zoom in all the way. There's the grounds from the second floor balcony. You could take pictures out there, but not inside. And I get it. There's no drones allowed either. If people are able to take the tour, then why would they, come? Oh, while we were there, we went to a place called 18 Steak in Baton Rouge. It was at the hotel we were staying at. It was at the casino. Basically, we looked for the most comfortable bed. That was allegedly what it was. That's the cocktail, because it was actually pretty good. You can see the Mississippi River out the window from our seat. My wife has better pictures. Look at the size of these shrimp, man. This is, I'm trying to think of, let's see, I think there was one with a fork. Yeah. So here's a fork, right? Look at these shrimp. I kid you not. Hold on. These shrimp were like this big. They were absolutely massive, which they should be given the price. But it was really, really good. The shrimp were huge. Those aren't tiny lemon wedges. Those are regular size wedges of lemon. And the shrimp were absolutely incredible. This was probably one of the best things I've ever eaten. It is crawfish, macaroni, and cheese. Mwah. Oh, my goodness. So good. That is a normal size dinner fork for scale. Huge portion. Absolutely delicious. Baked potato, again, massive. This huge serving spoon. The view. Bread pudding they gave us because they didn't have. I was gonna splurge and try this, the best thing on the menu, their A5 Wagyu tenderloin. Wagyu, I don't know how you say it, but they didn't have any. I was very disappointed. They gave me the free bread pudding because they didn't have it. I got the Western Australian Wagyu, which was still really, really good. The other best restaurant I've ever been to as far as steak goes is 404 Kitchen in Nashville. And the two were extremely close, very, very close as to which one I would say is better. It was really good, though. But that's the little walkway around the outside that you could see the Mississippi River. Let's see, I'm trying to find. Okay, yeah. So that's about it. I got a couple of nice pictures of obviously the wife and I with the Mississippi River in the background. Uh, it was a blast. But after we got done there, and yes, I know I didn't post any of this. I never post, like, never, and it's generally a good idea not to post that you're gonna go on vacation or that you're on vacation. You take your pictures and then you share that stuff when you get back. So that's what I did. I have, again, I have more pictures, but let's see here. I don't see it. So I'll find it and do another video for it. But we left there, and then we were going up to see her dad, who lives in Tennessee. And we got up there. That's when we went to Lookout Mountain, and we went to a place called Tupelo Honey Cafe in Chattanooga. Oh, regular, like basically regular food, but with a southern flair. So delicious. Turns out there's actually one in Indianapolis, I believe. So if you guys find yourself in Indy area, I highly recommend trying it. I highly recommend. It is quite good. Then we went to see her dad, and that was really good. It was an enjoyable time. It was fun. What do you guys like? I'd love to have your feedback on the lighting and the audio. As you see, it's still kind of bare bones behind me. I do need to set up background and stuff like that. This is kind of the best option I could come up with for I guess location of my setup. I'm not 100% happy with the lighting yet, but I do think that it's better. I have some other lights on the way. They should be here tomorrow, and then we're gonna see how it is with them. I can't quite get these dialed in. These are the same lights that I had before, but I'm just not able to get them dialed in. But that aside, everything else seems to be okay. I am not having any more issues, fingers crossed, with the computer problems that I was having. I don't want to speak it into existence. Seems to be okay, other than I did have an issue earlier today of a different kind, but a reboot fixed it. So fingers crossed that that's going to take care of it. We'll see. I am tentatively hopeful that the new lighting will make this unnecessary and will help. I also was able to eke out a little spot in order to have a single guest. So Sean and I will be able to resume doing our shows as his schedule permits. I may need to adjust a couple of things for that, but that's it. Like, we're right there, man. We're right there. Assume once I review this and double check audio, video, etc. I am hoping that everything will be good to go, and then we can get back to work, because there is so much going on, right? Man, what do you guys think? Like, talk to me. Is this what you voted for? I mean, part of it is, at least on my end. Part of it is part of it? I don't know. Like I'm really, really disappointed with the whole Epstein thing. I don't know what he was thinking. I very concerned in that regard. On the other hand, if you guys have been paying attention to Chicago, I live right by Chicago, so that is kind of insane. Where the mayor is literally telling ICE, "Oh, you can't enforce anything here. This is an ICE-free zone." Isn't that like? Aren't they compelled to follow federal law? So that's part of the problem with these sanctuary cities is they were not calling ICE. That's why some of these criminals were able to do the things they were able to do when they shouldn't even be here. They should have been deported. Had ICE had been called, they'd have been gotten out. Now, many of them came over multiple times, would get deported and come back, get deported and come back. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to share a video with you. Let me find it. And I think that it is well worth watching. Let's see here. All right. So let me find this video real quick because, oh my, is all I have to say. Let's see. Let's just do this because anyway, how's it been for you guys? I loved my vacation, but I'm also really glad to be back. I'm going to talk again about the house. So, oh boy. Like I said, it was unfortunately we came in and there was just so much stuff, just stuff. So we have this house that we have to do something with, and it's filled to the brim with just, and it's not like trash, like garbage trash, but it's like miscellaneous little like kitchen gadgets and Goodwill stuff. It's wild. And so the walls were cracked. Plaster, by the way, it's all original plaster walls. It hasn't been converted to drywall. It's still the plaster and lath lathe. So we had to find someone who knew what they were doing in order to fix that. The floors are all hardwood floors. The wiring was a little iffy. I was able to get some of the stuff done that I wanted to get done. Some of it was not exactly what I wanted, but that's neither here nor there. And like I said, when you start fixing stuff, it's always, you do a little bit, and then this big other problem comes from it. And that's what happened in multiple instances here. One of the problems that we had was the water pressure. And so we had to do a little bit of bathroom stuff, a little bit of water pipe stuff, and I'm probably going to have to revisit that, unfortunately. All right, I found what I was looking for. Let me do this. I'm going to show you guys. There we go. Share audio. Okay. All right.
ICE lies and people die. We cannot allow this to continue. We must take action more drastic than what we have taken before, because what we are seeing is a more radical attempt to undermine our democracy. And today we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Yeah.
What are you doing? No, seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
By extending this protection beyond city-owned land, the order builds a broad civic shield that limits the reach of harmful enforcement practices. It strengthens neighborhood solidarity, and it reaffirms Chicago's role as a welcoming city. The fact is, we cannot allow them to rampage throughout our city with no checks or balances. Nobody is above the law. If we break the law, you should be held accountable. If Congress will not check this administration, then Chicago will.
There he is. Income.
Yeah. Let me move myself out of the way here. There we go. This would be the mayor today if Trump was as based as the Dems make him out to be. Yeah. The sad reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is the law that you have to uphold the law. And part of upholding the law is actually immigration. So this is going to be very interesting. An article that I read today talked about, I don't know if you guys saw this, apparently the Chicago Police Department actually was told to stand down and not assist ICE when that crazy lady rammed their vehicle. And so Chicago is most definitely I guess a potential powder keg. Some crazy stuff going on there. I'm keeping my eye on it, guys. I don't go to Chicago unless I have absolutely no choice anyway. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. So that's I got so much to talk about. But this is my little test to see how things are. It seems like everything except the internet. If you guys let me know, did you see any stuttering or dropping? I had the little symbol up there. There's one more thing I'm going to try. I have an extender that acts kind of like a one of those little pods. This one's a little bit bigger. It allegedly provides internet even when the internet's out via cell signal, although at a reduced rate. We'll see. That there's some ports on the back in order to run hardline, although the thing's still wireless, so I'm not sure if it's going to be better. Yeah, Tony says, I thought Lori Lightfoot was bad. Yeah, that's how people in Chicago in general are feeling too. It's like, holy cow, how do you one up Lori Lightfoot? Well, they somehow found a way, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. But I have a whole lot of stuff to cover with you, and I do plan on resuming, if not daily, almost every day uploads. And I need to get with Sean and see his schedule, because there are, again, lots of stuff. Yeah. How do you top her? Elect Brandon Johnson. There are some very, very interesting things happening. There is one thing that I do want to share with you guys. I read this and I was like, this is interesting. Now we're gonna I don't have my tinfoil hat with me right now, but I'm going to share something with you because I did find this very interesting. Now, I have no way of knowing if any of this is accurate or not. So, why is this? Hold on. Okay, no, that's not. There we go. Okay, so hold on a second. I got to get the right one. Anyway, So I found this very, very interesting. There we go. Okay. So this is a post from X, and let me get zoomed in here so you guys can see this. This is a guy named Joe Lang. He says, first of all, let's look at the original post here. We're going to dig into this in a second. Here's the original post. It's a picture. It says, Obama was running a money laundering operation through the Cayman Islands using USAID as a front, disguised as foreign aid. You just can't make this stuff up. It always seems to be the same culprits, the same groups, and the same people every single time. During the Obama USAID era, we were running rogue operations in Cuba. USAID pumped $1.2 billion into activist groups, teaching them how to use Facebook, Twitter, hashtags, and coordinate street protests. Now all of it was structured to fool the American people, Congress, and even the White House. Obama even secretly funded a Twitter clone for Cuba called Zunzunio, slang for hummingbird, built to look like it came from Cubans. First, it pushed harmless content like sports and weather. Then it flipped to political propaganda, organizing dissent and fueling mass protests. They routed the money through Cayman Islands accounts, claiming it was Pakistani aid while secretly funding digital psyops and street uprisings. Ladies and gentlemen, these people have been robbing you and our country blind for decades. They've been living lavish, ultra-wealthy lifestyles while everyday hardworking Americans struggle just to get by. On top of all that, they used your own taxpayer dollars to fund riots and create ungodly amounts of propaganda against the American people. All of these operations, programs, and psyops created are all military-style tactics to topple countries, to regime changes, and other CIA-style takeover operations, similar to Operation Gladio. The worst part? You were paying for all of it. The question you should be asking yourself now is, are there still any types of these programs or operations still taking place today? It certainly makes you wonder why people were crying so loud about USAID. But here is a much more interesting post. Now, again, this is really going out there. I don't have any evidence. I just found it interesting. I'll share it with you guys. This person says, Obama is targeting, I think Brennan gets indicted next. That's completely possible, and I'd be on board for that personally. Brennan is a POS. Obama gave Comey and Brennan orders to illegally spy on Trump. There is a paper trail. But don't miss this little bit of interesting information. It was not a coincidence that this USAID taxpayers' money laundered through the Cayman Islands was designated as Pakistani aid, money laundering. Many people forget about the Obama ties to Pakistani intelligence. What's he talking about? Does anybody remember the Awan brothers? Do you think they had to secretly gain access to congressional computers in our nation's top secrets? Well, what is he talking about? Awan brothers. Let's see here. What is that? Pakistan, the Shahid Imran Awan is a Pakistani American information technology worker. From 2004 to 17, he worked as a shared employee for Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives. In July of 2017, he was arrested on federal bank fraud charges. That's interesting. Okay. Do you think they had to secretly gain access to congressional computers in our nation's top secrets? Do you think the Democrats didn't already know who they were working for? Now, this is a portion of a drop. Q drop, for those who don't know, do your own research is all I can tell you. I personally recommend actually reading the thing itself. Not what people put out there, but the drop itself. It says, why does Hussein plus HRC plus admin plus staff use private emails to communicate? And that in and of itself is a very, very good question. Why would you use private emails knowing you have the most secure servers, the most secure systems as a government employee? Was HRC the only one to use unsecured servers? Oh, let's see here. Tony says, did you see Pam Bondi owning Dick Durbin? I did not. I've been setting this up today, and I had a meeting I had to do. Finish this, and I'll see if Memology. As a matter of fact, let me go back here. Let's see here. Wait, this looks like Pam right here. That's Carolyn Levitt. No. Okay. No, none. This is the last thing I see. He's really good channel. I've pimped his channel before. I don't know the guy. I'm just a subscriber. But Memology 101. He said it was today. All right, let's see. Bondi. Dick. Oh, come on. Dick Bondi owned. Let's see. Bondi, Dick Durbin. Okay, so this is 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Let's see. Here's a short. Okay, so let's see here. Well, is this the one? Oh, zing. Is that the one, or was there another one? Let's take a look. I know it's ADD hour up in here, but let's see here. Depart. Oh, this is 11 hours ago. Hold on. A minute and a half. Dang it. Keep doing that. Yeah. If you love Chicago as much as you hate Trump. Yeah, I agree with you. These people are crazy, which, you know, one of the most interesting things about this is the complete role reversal as far as the Democrats, right? And the about face that they've done on this whole government shutdown thing. If you guys remember, like, I have clip after clip after clip that I've seen recently of the very same Democrats that are talking about, oh, the Republicans shut the government down. The Republicans shut the government down. That just last time were crying, talking about how important it is to make sure that the government stays running and we can't shut the government down. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's nuts. Yeah, Tony says it's been the law forever and they act like it's illegal for him to do it. Yeah. And this just goes to show, if you guys look at Portland, right? They had a journalist, an independent journalist that was there that got assaulted, and the journalist is the one that got arrested. Gee, I wonder why we need the National Guard to go into these cities. I wonder, because the police have been ordered to stand down. They are not arresting people. They are not enforcing the law. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Going back to this, there's some interesting info here that I wanted to share with you guys. Was HRC the only one to use unsecured servers? HRC, I assume, Hillary Rodham Clinton. It says, if access was granted regarding HRC private servers, can you assume access was granted regarding house servers, regarding A1? And that is a good question. So if we assume, just for a moment, that HRC did grant access, then it's a safe assumption that other access was granted as well. A1 is Pakistani intelligence, free. Huma Abedin, is there a connection with the Muslim Brotherhood? Matters of national security. The A1 brothers were working for Pakistani intelligence, and along with Huma are connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. That's an important connection. And I agree. It's something that people need to be aware of. Yeah, it says they have people trying to get run over by their trucks. You're absolutely right, Tony. In Chicago, there are people that are surrounding government vehicles and attempting to get run over. Now, what's really interesting is we have seen what happens in Florida and other states where people try to interfere with traffic. Doesn't end well for them. Whereas in Illinois, the Illinois state police, the Chicago police, have been ordered. If you guys look it up, there's transcripts and actual, I believe, video. Either way, there's people that are willing to testify that they were ordered to stand down and were not allowed to respond. How is this legal? I'm pretty sure it's not. Yes, agreed. Tony says, then the Dems make a big deal about them getting arrested when these people are obstructing justice. Right. If you are impeding an officer in his duties, you will get arrested. Absolutely. And then they act like they're the victims. Well, maybe if you weren't standing in the road or banging on the windows or throwing stuff at vehicles. Now, I will be the first one to say that I'm sure that there are people out there that have come to the country illegally that just want a better life. Absolutely. But how is it fair to let them jump the line? The laws are the laws, and all we are doing is enforcing laws that have been on the books for a long time. Something was brought to my attention the other day. I think it was my wife who told me, if you go back and you look at Bill Clinton's policies and speech regarding illegal immigration, he would be considered a far-right radical by his own party at this point. That is very, very interesting and true. It's kind of terrifying if you think about it. That's because normal people are now considered far-right radicals. I was not a Clinton fan. My wife was. She liked him at the time. She was also young, but he was always very good at making you feel like he was kind of an everyman, right? A regular guy. He wasn't, but he certainly could fake it well. That said, his policies, his speeches, listen to him. Like, they would absolutely be considered far-right radical, maybe even a hate speech by these people. The Dems did a 180. Yes, they did. It is just bizarre to me how off the chain some of these people have gotten. Absolutely crazy. Let me see here. There is one more video I want to show you guys that I think is just wild. Oh, so have you seen DC Shorts? I don't know if you guys watch it, but there are two clips that I recommend watching. So one is called Trump Deranged Maniac Rips Down Sign, then Opens Fire. This one here as well. Man killed over lawn clippings. Suspect claims self-defense. So the lawn clippings one, this guy was apparently in his house, and there were some lawn care guys that were cutting the grass. And the suspect, there we go, the accused, his car got grass clippings on it. He came outside, he got into an argument with a 22-year-old worker. The worker ended up deceased. This guy ended up arrested over lawn clippings on like a 10-year-old Buick, at least if it was the picture that they showed. It's nuts. It is absolutely nuts. Also, one interesting thing, this is the one that I really wanted to show you here. memology. Again, memology 101. But it's called Timu Obama, which I love, spits word salad after being humiliated with his own. This is what I was talking about earlier. I'm just shocked this was actually on NBC. And the reason it's so unaffordable is because of the Affordable Care Act. But I digress. Right. Really? I mean, yeah. Yeah. It's just mind blowing. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see a lot more of this individual on the news because that's how it is. That's how they want to. That's who they keep having on. But all right, guys, I'm out for tonight. I hope you guys are as excited about the show's return as I am, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get the last little bit wrapped up. Get Sean over here. We'll do some Supreme Court breakdown stuff like that. But oh my goodness, man, it's been a trip. It's been a wild little while. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys some more. Good night.